onto the small forward. I guess we have two now, officially.
Hey, finally.
Yeah, it took forever.
But Harrison Barnes, yeah.
Harry
Harrison Barnes.
Buckets.
Harry Buckets, we decided to go with A minus in the first half, being that stabilizing force, being a guy that, maybe we'd like to see him shoot better from three at that point. He was still kind of a consistent veteran presence. Now, I think that can only take you so far.
Yeah.
And his second half in playoffs, I think if you give Herter a C plus in that, I think you got to give Barnes a C plus in that.
Yeah, man.
I mean, maybe even lower because,
well, second half, I think he was better than Herter overall. Mm-hmm. So I think his grade should be higher. I don't know, but I don't know. It is weird because he was terrible in the playoffs.
Yeah,
it's hard to overlook that.
He averaged 10.7 points on 41% from the field in the playoffs and 24% from three. Posted a minus 8.9 plus minus, which was the worst on the team. I don't know. I would say Barnes was worse because I feel like his job was supposed to. You said it last week, I think. It's like this guy was supposed to be the veteran. He's the championship experience guy in the rotation, and outside of a few kind of dunks that kind of just fired people up, on the floor impact was not exactly there, and defensively, he wasn't very good either. I don't know. I feel like he kind of deserves a C plus, also in the second half. I don't know though. Like, what's the argument for a B minus in the second half?
I felt like he was better actually during the regular season than Kevin Herter.
Yeah,
I feel like he finished the season well. I really thought going into the playoffs, I'm like, man, this he's poised to have a big postseason.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong, but I thought that.
Yeah, I think one of the things is, regardless if he gets a C plus or a B minus, I think his overall grade is going to be a B. Yeah, let's go B minus for Barnes because I think taking into account the intangible leadership aspect, and which is mostly by example and whatnot, but I think that does wonders. I'm okay giving him a B minus. Some people might think that's a little too nice, but I think
they can do their own grades.
True. So what, a B minus, and you think B overall in the season, or do you want to B plus?
No, I'm good with a B. Maybe that's where I dropped the playoff score and really factor that in a little more. That was terrible.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
Yeah. Pathetic. It's twice for Herter and Barnes. Pathetic.
Yeah, well,
they were not good when they were supposed to be, two of your five best players.
Yeah, exactly.
Here is a little more of a bright spot. Didn't get a first half grade, but Kessler Edwards in the second half, we saw him play a pretty nice defensive role at times, checking pretty good players. I think defensively he was awesome in those 21 games post All-Star break, and he did what he had to do. Played his role, didn't try to do too much. He shot 35.7% from three. Damn. I really think, Kessler Edwards has a club option. I think there's no way the Kings don't pick that up.
Yeah,
I think this guy's going to
no way.
He could really put himself into a position where he's not only part of the rotation during the season throughout the whole year, but if he can really gel with everybody and make improvements, he could be huge come playoff time.
Huge.
Really interested to see how he'll be able to, because I think he has a chance to really just slide right into this core, so to speak, and be huge. I think given the role, given the expectations of when Monty McNair traded for him, I think you got to give him an A minus.
I think so too. You don't really have any expectations. Kind of like, all right, what do we gave up who for this guy?
David Michino, which I get.
I need to know. I need to know. I need to remember this. I just say it every time.
David Michino, man. You give up a lot, but you got a lot.
Yeah,
But no,
yeah.
but seriously, we said that this was a low risk, high reward trade. He's proven to be on the higher end of the reward category, I guess. Kessler
Hmm.
Edwards, just awesome.
Yeah,
I think that
I
was
love
such
him.
an underrated move by McNair.
Yeah, really. I remember a trade deadline where everyone was just making moves left and right. Yeah, the Kings get Kessler Edwards. That's gonna be their trade deadline. It's like what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like whatever, but I'm also like, all right. We could
Mm.
just give up like 2 second rounders and got probably any player in this league.
We could have gotten Jared Vanderbilt.
JV.
Who? Bunch of casuals. But Kessler Edwards, just great in terms of
Yeah,
what he needed to do. A minus is pretty easy.
yeah, I agree. He deserved it.
And overall, at that small forward wing position, Barnes was pretty solid, and Kessler Edwards was a pleasant surprise, I guess, would be a nice characterization.
Hmm.
And maybe not even that much of a surprise, because it's like, even after a while, it's like when we talked about that trade the week of, it was just like, oh yeah, I don't know. And then like the next week, after sitting on it for a week, being able to digest it, it was clear that it was not a bad move at all. But
Yeah.
yeah, Kessler Edwards, Harrison Barnes, not bad.
No, it'd be interesting to see how the small forward position looks like next year.
Yeah, it would be.
Um, but yeah, no, not bad at all. I mean, well, we give Barnes a B for the year and Edwards about an A minus, considering he was only on the team for half a year.
Mhm.
Yeah, about a B plus B, I guess, because Barnes holds more weight. But I guess on to
Yeah.
the other forward position, unless you have more to say.
No, no, no. Perfect.